You think you're tough, you really do. You wake up, hit snooze, moan about your back, your boss, your terrible week. You think you know what exhaustion feels like. You don't. Let me take you somewhere. Northern China, 221 BC. You wake up on bare mountain rock in the dark. No blanket, no food, hands bleeding from yesterday. Before you can remember where you are, something hits you. A boot, straight into your ribs. Chilai, get up. 6 months you've been here. You were told 4. You stopped counting the men who didn't make it around month 2. The guy beside you last week, gone. You don't ask where. You already know. Here's what nobody tells you about the Great Wall of China. It is not a monument, it is a confession. Historians found real bones inside the wall. It didn't just cost lives, it consumed them. Walk through every single hour of what that looked like. By the end, you'll understand why the people who built it weren't remembered. They were buried in it. Let's begin. 4:30 in the morning. The mountain is still black, cold so sharp it feels personal. You slept on the ground because there is no other option. No barracks, no beds, nothing worth the name of shelter. Just the open ridge, the wind coming off the steppe, and the bodies of the men around you packed close enough to share heat. You have been conscripted, that is the official word. In 221 BC, the Emperor Qin Shi Huang has just unified China for the first time, ending centuries of war between rival states. To build his wall, one continuous barrier against the nomadic Xiongnu people along the northern border, he needs labor on a scale that cannot be filled voluntarily. So the state takes it. Farmers, convicts, soldiers, scholars who said the wrong thing in the wrong company. Any man the local magistrate decides can be spared or cannot be protected. Estimates of the total workforce run between 300,000 and 1 million people at any given time during the Qin Dynasty's construction phase. You are one of them. You had a farm. You had a family. You had a life that had nothing whatsoever to do with this mountain. And then one morning, the officials came to your village. And 6 months later, here you are, on a ridgeline at the edge of the known world. And nobody back home knows exactly where you are or whether you are coming back. 5 in the morning, food. And you need to understand what that word means here before we go further. There is a pot. Inside it, millet, a grain cooked with water into thin porridge. Sometimes salted vegetables, sometimes dried fish. The portions are calculated not to satisfy you, but to keep you functional. You are not a person in this equation. You are a unit of output. The engineers have calculated how many stone blocks need moving each day. The supply masters have calculated the minimum calories required to keep the men moving. That number is what you receive, no more. You eat standing up, you eat fast. Every last grain, 6 in the morning, work begins. The Great Wall follows the ridgeline. This is strategically smart. It is physically catastrophic. The ridge does not flatten out for your convenience. Everything, every stone block, every basket of earth, every bucket of water for the mortar, follows it up and down and up again. The blocks you are moving weigh between 50 and 300 kilograms each. The heavier ones need 4 to 6 men just to lift. You are moving them up a 35-degree slope. No mechanical assistance. Just ropes, wooden rollers, and carrying poles that dig into your shoulders so deeply that the men who have been here longest have permanent grooves worn into the bone. You can see the channels carved into living men when they take their shirts off in the afternoon heat. Your job is to be part of a carrying team. 6 men, 1 stone, 40 meters up to the construction point, then back down, then up again. The foreman wants 12 trips by midday. You managed 9 yesterday, you are already behind, 9 in the morning. 5th trip. Your shoulders have moved past pain into something structural. Not an injury exactly, more like your body renegotiating its own architecture. Your legs are shaking on the upslope, not trembling, shaking. The man beside you stumbles, just a half step, a lurch. But on a 35-degree slope with 300 kilograms between 6 bodies, a half step is a catastrophe in progress. Everyone adjusts. The moment passes. Nobody speaks because everybody knows. An injury here does not mean rest. It means you are less useful. Being less useful has consequences the foreman does not need to explain. Noon, 30 minutes. You have been carrying stone up a mountain for 6 hours. 30 minutes. More millet, water. The carriers arrive today, which is not guaranteed. And you drink until your stomach is tight because the afternoon is longer than the morning. The man from the south, a rice farmer 8 months on the wall, sits beside you. He shows you how to shift the angle of the pole to protect the shoulder joint. Small knowledge, the kind that cannot be written down. only pass between men who are still alive. You do not lie down. The veterans never lie down at midday. Resting means your muscles cool and stiffen. You do what the veterans do because the veterans are still here, and that is the only credential that matters on this mountain, 1 in the afternoon. This is the hour when the wall takes most of its people. Not dramatically, just the accumulation of heat and weight and exhaustion, reaching a point where the body's error rate exceeds what the terrain will forgive. You see it happen to a man on the team above you. He goes down sideways, the pole swinging, the stone rolling free. He is moved to the side of the path. He is breathing. That is noted. The foreman reassigns 2 men, and within 4 minutes, the work has resumed. You keep walking. The man from the south does not watch at all. He stopped watching things like that months ago. Not callousness, mathematics. Every unit of attention you spend on something you cannot change is a unit not spent on the slope in front of you. 4:30 in the afternoon. Trip 11. You are not going to make 12. Your legs have decided this independently of your intentions, and your legs are correct. The foreman marks his ledger, says nothing. You will feel the decision tomorrow in your rations. 6 in the evening, the horn. Light is going, and night construction on a mountain ridgeline with heavy stone produces outcomes the foreman prefers to avoid. You stand in the sudden silence and feel everything your body has been too busy to report since before sunrise. Shoulders barely functional, feet blistered inside the cloth wrappings. A hunger that lives not just in the stomach, but in the muscles, behind the eyes, in the joints. You are thirsty again despite the water at noon. Your back is a single continuous statement of objection from the base of your spine to the top of your neck. You stand there for a moment, just breathing, and it takes you a few seconds to realize that breathing without moving a stone is, right now, the greatest luxury you have experienced all day. 30 minutes downhill back to camp. Downhill is its own punishment after a day of carrying up, the knees bearing the full accumulated complaint of everything you have asked them to do since before sunrise. Then the same millet, smaller portion, because of the foreman's ledger and what it says about your 11 trips. You sit with the man from the south and 1 other, a man 11 months on the wall, ancient by the standards of this place. He knows things that cannot be written down, only pass between men who are still alive. The way to sleep curled so your core stays warm through the coldest part of the night. The way to read the foreman's mood from 30 meters away, before he has said a word. The way to make the ration feel like slightly more than it is by eating with extreme slowness and drinking water between each mouthful. He says the men who last here are not the strongest ones who arrived. The strong ones burned through themselves in the first 2 months. The men who last are the ones who get small, who learn to want less, feel less, who compress themselves down to the business of the next hour, and nothing beyond it. You listen and you think about your farm, your family, the smell of your village after rain. For a moment, everything falls away, and there is just the grief of a man who does not know if he is going home. Then you put it away. You have to, because tomorrow starts at 4:30, and the mountain does not care. You lie down on the rock. You close your eyes. The Great Wall of China is over 4,000 miles long in its surviving sections. It took multiple dynasties and 2,000 years to build in its different forms. The Qin Dynasty's original wall is largely gone, dissolved back into earth. What survives mostly dates to the Ming Dynasty, 1,000 years later. But the bones are still in there. Archaeologists have confirmed it, not metaphorically. Human remains found in and around the foundations. The people who built the Great Wall were not symbols. They were farmers and fathers and sons, handed a carrying pole and pointed at a mountain, and told that China needed a wall and that their bodies were the price of it. They paid it. Every day, in cold and heat and hunger, they paid it. And when we look at photographs of the wall today, tourists on the broad, restored parapets, phones out, marveling at the view, we are looking at something built from more than stone and mortar. We are looking at what human beings are capable of enduring when they have no other choice. Remember that the next time you hit snooze, remember the boot, remember the mountain. Remember the man from the south who showed you how to wrap your shoulder cloth and never once told you it was going to be all right because he had stopped lying to himself 11 months ago. That man built one of the wonders of the world. He just never got to see it finished. If this video made you feel something, hit the like button and subscribe. We keep making videos like this. The real history, the full cost, no sugarcoating. We'll see you in the next one.